it shows the amount of,
Yeah.
people that
Absolutely.
are out there, but, we're here to help.
Right,
So.
right. I see that the in community services, that seems, and we've talked a little bit about peer advocacy. What about the family support services? What does that mean? Helping the families of the addicts? And,
Willing to meet and kind of guide to resources that they may need to help heal.
this would be like Al-Anon
Correct.
for alcoholism.
Yes.
Correct.
Yeah. And how does that work? I mean, who?
Well, there's you can Google anything. They even now have you can go online and do Al-Anon meetings.
Yeah.
Smart Recovery, it's called.
Huh.
But locally there are a lot of meetings as well.
Yeah.
And if they're open meetings, anyone is allowed to show up.
Right.
So really anybody can go. It's just giving a list or recommending that they go, or being able to recommend a meeting.
Yeah. Another important aspect of this is that this is all free. Is that right?
It is.
There's no cost to a person who wants to come out of addiction and find treatment.
Yes, all of the services are at no cost.
And that's because of the grant.
Correct. Yep.
So as people take advantage of it, and as the success rate is proven, then that kind of guarantees that further grants will keep it going.
Yep, and we're hoping, the resources that we're using, so the certified recovery peer advocates, their services are billable.
Yeah.
So we're hoping, that we become self-sustaining after the grant is complete.
Sure. Okay. Once again, our guests today are Karen Caminiti, who is the project manager for the Center of Treatment Innovation, and also Marc Brainard, a certified recovery peer advocate. And we're talking about this program, which is the Center of Treatment Innovation. And I like this, bridging the gap to accessible treatment options and support services to empower individuals to change their lives. Empowerment. Let's talk a little bit about what empowerment means in this context.
Well, it's very easy for people to say, this is what you should do, or if I were you, I would do this.
Yeah.
But if it's not their plan, then chances are people are not going to do it. If it wasn't their idea, then they're not going to do it.
Yeah.
So what we try to do is to empower them. We give them choices, and their path of recovery is their own.
Right. What led you into this work? Why?
Oh boy.
Yeah, I mean, is this something you've been training for since high school, or what?
It's been a long time. I started at Fairview Recovery Services, so I was a case manager there, and I worked in a halfway house with 24 men. And back then, a lot of my clients were older and alcoholics.
Yeah.
And that was it.
Yeah.
And it didn't take long before that completely switched, where my clients are much younger now, and it seems to be that the bigger picture is the opiates and the stimulants, and not so much alcohol anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
So for me, it just clicked.
Right.
I really enjoyed working with that population, and I enjoyed being able to watch them go through their recovery from being at the lowest of their low to holding a job and getting their first place, some of them going to school. It was just amazing.
Yeah. So what is it, and maybe Marc, you can address this, what is it that helps someone turn the corner? I mean, you mentioned, people who hit their lowest peak, lowest peak. No, that's not. That's kind of
Their valley? Their lowest valley? I think that You know, I try to stay away from rock bottom. Sometimes that's not the case, and rock bottom is all relative to that person.
Yeah.
I think that nobody wants to be there.
Yeah.
And I think that there's different motivating factors in having people around you. You might have kids and they're watching you, get your kids taken from you. You know, there could that may having that what they refer to as a hammer hanging over you, some legal trouble.
Yeah.
That's a good time to get right and get it together. I think that there are other motivating factors, but most of the time we're seeing something of that nature.
Right, right. And it is very personal. Every person is different.
Correct.
Every person
Absolutely.
will approach this differently. But it takes a great amount of courage to admit now that the addiction has you and that you're no longer
Especially right
yourself.
now with the way the stigma attached to addiction is.
Yeah,
You know, there's shame and there's guilt attached to that.
yeah,
So being willing to come forward and admit that, yeah, I have this problem, and then to ask for help,
Yeah.
that's courageous.
Oh, it's
Says a
hard
lot.
for anyone to ask for help
Right.
for anything. Help with mowing
Absolutely.
your yard or something.
Absolutely.
But this is so serious. I mean, it's literally life-threatening, and it's not only your life, but it's the life of your children or your neighbors, people who care about you, and you
Right.
know that you're hurting them as well as hurting yourself.
Absolutely.
So, folks, we'll call the number, and we'll give that number again. It's 888-428-4571. 888-428-4571. And they will probably talk to you. You said there's a 90% chance they'll
Yeah.
reach you.
Well, we also have each of the SERPAs, the Certified Recovery Peer Advocates, will have their business cards as well. So they are out in the field. So they're handing out their cards. They each have a mobile phone. They each have a laptop. So everything is completely mobile for them. So you know, any individual that is needing help can call them directly as well.
Yeah.
So.
Can you share a success story? Is it too early to do that?
You know, a success is so relative. You know, we had just recently a client that she was homeless, living on the street, had nothing.
Right.
We sent a peer recovery out. It probably took 3 or 4 times for her to, you know, really even open up about what she was going through. And then, you know, she finally said, you know, I'm ready to go. So we dispatched a mobile clinician who went out, performed an assessment on her to decide which level of treatment was appropriate for her. And, you know, she needed intensive inpatient treatment. So she agreed to go, and we were able to send her, and as far as we know, she's doing well. And what's nice about this program is that when she completes, her peer advocate will be waiting there for her. So it doesn't end there.
Yes. Right. Yeah, because you always need to have someone that you can talk to.
That's right.
Absolutely.
That's right.
You always have to have someone there that you can depend on, and it's best to have a peer who understands what you've been going through.
Yes.
You've always got your mom.
Yep.
You've always got your sister or your brother, but it's always good to have a peer who's been there and has come through the dark times. And
That can show you that there are people that make it.
yeah. And that's where the hope comes in, that leads you to the help that you're looking for.
That's right.
The idea of moving beyond Broome County now into Tioga and Tompkins, you're not working alone. You must be working with is there a network that you're working with throughout the area?
We refer out. So, you know, we work through the Addiction Center of Broome County, but that doesn't necessarily mean that we're sending people to the Addiction County of Broome County.
Right.
The Addiction Center of Broome County,
Yeah.
rather.
Yeah.
We can send wherever's appropriate. whether it's inpatient, outpatient, dual diagnosis facilities,
Yeah.
Anywhere available.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's about keeping, people in their county. So, if an individual needs outpatient treatment, they live in, Tompkins County, it makes no sense for us to turn around and say, well, the Addiction Center of Broome County can
Right.
help you.
Right.
No,
Right.
we're going to make a referral to, the CARS or whatever outpatient services
Yeah.
are available in that county.
CARS is the Cayuga Addiction Recovery Services.
Correct.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. I see Narcan training here. We've seen that demonstrated on television, and there's another drug too that's used. You were talking about injections before we went on the air.
Oh, for Vivitrol, yes.
Yeah, and what is that?
That's a drug that is used to combat, what's the word I'm
It
looking
blocks the
for?
receptors.
Okay.
It blocks the opiate receptors.
Yeah.
So you may use, but you're not going to get that euphoria. You're
Okay.
not going to get that
Okay.
high.
So this is not just counseling, but this is medical treatment as well.
Medication-assisted
Yep,
treatment,
correct.
yes. Yep.
Medication-assisted treatment. Okay.
Right.
I may get
Yes.
some of the jargon here before we're finished. I want to thank you both. It's an important program, and once again, it's the Center of Treatment Innovation, COTI, COTI,
Cody,
That's it.
yep.
part of the Addiction Center of Broome County. And the phone number, once again, is 888-428-4571, 888-428-4571. And our guests today have been the program manager for COTI, Karen Caminiti, and Marc Brainard, a certified recovery peer advocate. This is really important work, and it's very important for those who are watching this program or listening on the radio to realize that there is help available. And no matter what situation you find yourself in, you are not without hope when there are people like the two of you who are just part of a team that's ready to reach out and bring help to folks who are
That's right.
addicted or know someone who is.
That's right.
So,
Thank you.
you are centered where? You're in Broome County, though. You're at the Addiction
The
Center.
Addiction Center of Broome County is what we'll call our home base.
Yeah, it's the Honeycomb Hideout. But I spend most of my time in Tioga County, and the Tompkins County team, they're out there 4 times, 5 times a week as
right.
well.
The agencies that in those 2 counties have been wonderful and allowed us to have space in several different spots. So we, are out there.
Wonderful.
That's right.
Wonderful. So they're where you are and are willing to help. I'm Jeff Kellam. Thank you for being with us for this program that's produced by the Broome County Council of Churches. It's called Encounter. We're here every week with thanks to WBNG Television and WNBF Radio. Hope that in the coming week you will be gentle with people and with yourself.